Greetings, everybody. This is Dan Powers at Champion Solutions Group. And actually, what I wanted to walk over today is tipping point as an IPS solution. Now, I got this thing running in my lab environment, so not too much going on. But one of the things I did want to kind of point out to you is the idea of digital vaccines, which is just pretty cool. Um, so what we do is Trend Micro in their ZDI 0 day initiative is constantly checking for vulnerabilities. They're the largest company in the world that does this, and they even pay people to submit vulnerabilities into them, and then they test for it. So the reason I brought this video up is I'm going to switch to my email here real quick and kind of drill into something that I'd get. And I get these all the time. And if you notice, in today's world with a lot of bad stuff going on, especially with COVID-19, bad guys are acting out. But all of us run some Microsoft stuff. And I can see right here, here's Microsoft security bulletins. And these are all the vulnerabilities that just this week, kind of, or this month, I should say, kind of been thrown out there at us. And if you notice, there's quite a bit. I'm not picking on Microsoft. Obviously, they're the big player on the block. A lot of products, a lot of people run their OSs. So, of course, they're going to be a target and have a lot of vulnerabilities. But we also see something like Adobe, right, which came in here. And we can go in and look at any of these CVE numbers, which I did do. And I'm going to bring that up real quick, for example, and take a look at what do some of these things do. So as you notice, this was recently published out of MITRE, was discovered by Trend, and kernel elevation privileges. And if we notice a couple things here, not publicly disclosed yet, so it's not even kind of that 0 day information, but look at everything it affects in the Microsoft OS versions, right? So all these systems are applicable to it. Most likely some of these older systems as well might not be running them, but certainly some of these new servers. And what are there? Microsoft, there's no workarounds for this, no vulnerability. There's no mitigating factors for this, right? So again, and if we show it anonymously working with Trend Micro's 0 day initiative is what's found this. And we can walk through, I did an example of a couple of these, right? Looking at all these different vulnerabilities that were discovered this past month. And they're all pretty dangerous. They're pretty high as far as, the impact to any particular organization as we look at some of these. So there's quite a bit of things, and the idea is, how do you protect against this? Even if there was a patch available, and in a lot of these cases, as we noticed, there's no patch available at the moment for some of these things. But the cool part about using something like Tipping Point is I can get that email, I can manually go in, click that signature package, hit open, hit install, and this is approximately how long it takes to install these threat indicators, and it also blocks it. So Tipping Point as a protection system from a network side puts a digital vaccine in place. What that means is it can find out how the vectors of these vulnerabilities take place, and from a network perspective, digitally patch any devices on my network so they're no longer vulnerable to this. Now, you still want to patch your boxes, absolutely. But in the cases, and if you notice, it's an instant feature, changes took effect immediately, and now I'm up to date with this version. The other thing to note is I didn't actually even have to do that because I have this enabled that it automatically once a day is going to go out to the Trend system and automatically keep my Trend IPS Tipping Point appliance up to date with these digital signatures. So even before there's 0 day, I am protected. So with that, what I wanted to do next is actually I am going to run an infect me script that took advantage of one of those issues. And what I'm hoping to see here in a minute, if I go back to the main part of the screen, again, it's my lab, so I don't have a lot of data going on at night, obviously. But what I'm going to actually look at here is to say, did I find it and block it? So right here, boom, we can see as an IPS block, I was actually able to block those things. It's actually that top one. These other ones are something different. But I was able to actually block that infection from taking place, even though there is either no patch available to actually fix this issue, or I didn't patch my machines yet. So I'm covered from this perspective. So I love the Tipping Point appliance. It's a great utility. If you want to learn more, hit us up here at Champion. We'd love to talk to you about it. But that was a real quick video of just looking at digital vaccines. And again, if I go back to my email here, and I can see that I'm constantly getting these digital vaccines. And it's not just Microsoft, it's looking at all sorts of, well, this is Microsoft still, but it's malware, ransomware, as you're noticing here. We got everything from Apache, WebBot. This is a Linux dupe reboot detection. So there's quite a stuff in here, and I constantly get this as a subscriber, as a worker of the Tipping Point Appliance, constantly protecting myself on the network layer, giving my folks a chance to actually patch my devices. And that's why here at Champion, we believe research is key. That's why we love Trend Micro with their zero-day malware and URLs, help it protect you. Doing research to find zero-day vulnerabilities out there in all the software products that you run today. And that's going to help you way before even that zero-day exploit happens. Usually 72 days before a known zero-day exploit comes out, you are protected with those digital signatures. And this is the beauty of Trend Micro. They have a very large portfolio of products that help you all the way across the board. But today we're zeroing in on that zero-day initiative, which Microsoft has even acknowledged, Trend Micro, that they find 70% of the vulnerabilities through all the Microsoft products and other products such as Adobe and so forth that you're running well above their competition, such as Palo Alto, Cisco, McAfee, and so forth.